So, hi everyone, this is Jason from Jason Dodd Photography, and we're here together just to have a chat about photography and marketing. And Jason's going to talk through some of his business. I've known him for a number of years, so I'll hand over to you, Jason.
Yeah, thanks Lydia for inviting me for this video call. My name's obviously Jason Dodd. I've been a photographer for 15 years now. April 2005, the business went live. Been into photography since the age of 8 years old, and shared the passion with my dad with automotive and motorsport photography. Since the business has been up and running, obviously a lot of things have changed since then. Websites were fairly new when I started the business, as was digital photography, and now we've kind of moved sort of full circle that the internet and social media is kind of the big plus point, I guess, in terms of promoting your business, and the website is a bit of a backup, really.
Awesome. So you said you're based in Canterbury, and how long have you been in business, did you say?
15 years now.
That's quite a long time. So you've seen a lot of change through marketing and photography. Yeah, you'll always be busy. Obviously, professional photography is really important, and I've had some photos done from you, which I use throughout my website and social media. But it just massively helps to up your game, doesn't it? When images like that, they portray your business in a way that you can't get through kind of other images.
I think so, yeah. And I mean, obviously, a lot of people now use their phones in terms of social media content, which I think is great. And what I have noticed, because a lot of my work is commercial based, so that's kind of a lot of different aspects, sort of architecture, education, vehicles, and sort of portraits as well. So a lot of clients that I used to do a lot of work for probably scaled it down to probably a day or 2 days a year where they have those big shots for publicity purposes, for brochures. And a lot of clients are doing a lot of stuff themselves, but I think it's keeping it consistent, really. So professional photography is important, and obviously getting those large images which you can use for loads of different purposes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think headshots as well is really important. I was speaking to a client yesterday, and they have got their old headshot as their profile photo, and they turned up at a customer's house, and they didn't actually recognize them. They were like, oh, I didn't think it was you, because their photo was so old. So it's it really is important to keep these things up to date.
That sounds like a referral.
Yeah. I'll send over the details.
No, I think that's the thing as well, isn't it? I think a lot of people like to sort of have a sort of a holiday shot on Facebook, but if you're on LinkedIn or any other business portals, then it's important to have a professional looking photo.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't necessarily need to be against a white backdrop, but it just needs to be a really clean image, and as you say, keep it updated as well.
Yeah, and I think, like I always kind of say, each social media platform is used for different purposes, and I think if you've got kind of a portfolio of images that you can use for those different platforms, it makes it a lot easier to put the content together and to keep it consistent and looking good across all of them, no matter what the message is that goes with it. Yeah,
I think that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you can just do an hour's photo shoot where you can get quite a lot of content, but it is getting as much as you can. So it might be some little detailed shots, maybe some branding if someone's got their own sort of stationery or logos on the building. So as you say, they're kind of filler shots that you can kind of use for generic purposes rather than one specific area that you want to promote.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So what would you say your top tips are?
I think the big thing is consistency. So whether you're using, a professional photographer or you're doing your own photos, make sure it's the same person in the company that's doing that content.
Yeah.
Making sure the light's good as well.
Yeah.
And I think also making the content fresh. So there's no point repeating that content all the time. You're almost better off, as you know yourself, rather than doing something similar every single day, maybe do it once a week. You're just making sure that you've got a catalogue of images. A lot of people tend to use stock images, but they're very much the same images that your competition's using.
Yeah.
So I think get a bank of your own images, and as I said, sort of an hour or even a day during the year will give you a lot of content that you can kind of use and keep updating, so it's fresh to your customers and prospective clients.
Yeah, definitely. It's about being memorable on the newsfeed, isn't it? I always say if a post pops up on a social media page, if somebody can tell that it's your image, either from the logo, the colours, obviously the people in the image, or even the styling, it just makes you memorable to those people, keeps you at the forefront of their mind, and that's what we're striving for, really. And if you can be consistent across all your channels with that, it's even better.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if you have one bad image or something that's of poor quality, then that stands out as well, doesn't it? So people might remember that more than the really good content that you've been doing previously. So be really careful about what you're promoting, and obviously keep it professional and keep the other stuff on your sort of normal Facebook page, maybe.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Definitely, I agree with that one. Yeah, well, thank you for joining me, and yeah, you can find more information about Jason. I'll put a link in the comments below to his website. Yeah, if you've got any questions for us, please post them below. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Lydia.